So this morning we've got the Rolling Stones Beggars Banquet. Now this album was released in 1968, produced by Jimmy Miller, engineered by Glyn Johns, the legendary Glyn Johns. The original release had a white cover because this cover was deemed too risque to be put out. They had the idea of finding a really horrible toilet and graffitiing, if that's a word, the names onto the wall and the credits and the song titles onto the wall. And they found such a toilet and it was so disgusting. Apparently they were an inch deep in filthy, dirty water, and they had to throw away their Carnaby Street velvet trousers and shoes after because they were so disgusting. But there's some fantastic songs on here: Stray Cat Blues, Sympathy for the Devil, Prodigal Son, No Expectations, Street Fighting Man. There's some good guitar innovations on this too. Keith Richards came up with the idea for Street Fighting Man of recording the acoustic guitar part into a small little Philips tape player. And he got that sort of tape compression and distortion by overloading the small little mic, and then he played that back into the tape machine, which is that sound that you hear on Street Fighting Man. Of course, the standout track on here, and probably one of the Stones' biggest hits, is Sympathy for the Devil, which started out life as like a folk song, inspired by like Bob Dylan, who was obviously very big at the time. And Marianne Faithfull, Mick's and girlfriend, gave him a book, The Master and Margarita, by this Russian guy, who I can't pronounce his name unfortunately, from the 1920s. Mick read the book and wrote the lyrics. And in the sort of mid to late 60s, there was this fascination, this sort of satanic fascination around with all the hip people. You had people like Aleister Crowley and all that, and there was films and lots of books about it at the time. And I guess they just sort of hooked on to that feeling that was going on. And whilst recording it, actually, they had to change the lyric as well, because it was recorded in June 1968, and the lyric went something like, "Who killed Kennedy?" But of course, at the time of recording it, Bobby Kennedy, RFK, was assassinated as well at the Ambassador Hotel. They had to change the lyrics. Who killed the Kennedys? Plural. Terrible, terrible times. If you're looking to play the Sympathy for the Devil on the guitar, it's relatively simple. I've got my Gibson Hummingbird today, which is what they used back in the day. You take an E chord, a D chord, and an A chord, and there you got your verse. And for the chorus, you just go up to a B. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Try it with the strumming, try to get that kind of, that rhythmic, imagine maracas and congas and all that stuff going on, woo woo, and all of that going on. Fantastic. It's a great song, guys. Give it a listen, give it a spin. A bit of the Rolling Stones, Beggars Banquet.